So, in today's video, I want to talk about the book of Ecclesiastes. The book of Ecclesiastes is written by King Solomon, David's son, King David's son, right? But the thing is that King Solomon wrote three books. I think it was Proverbs, a bit of Psalms, and then Ecclesiastes, right? So Ecclesiastes was the last book he wrote. And basically, the life of King Solomon in the Bible, he goes from loving God and worshiping Him or being close to God, to being far from God, and then to being close to God again, right? Ecclesiastes is when he's close to God. And basically the whole theme of Ecclesiastes is basically King Solomon saying, if you live your life for under the sun, you wasted it. And by that he means, like, if you live your life for this world and not for Him above, then you've wasted it. Sorry if I touched my mic. But that's basically what he's saying in Ecclesiastes, right? And basically I want to touch upon that too, because it's like, especially in today's society, we're so used to living a life of sin or living a life that is worldly. Sin is promoted, and I feel like if a lot of people just live towards what the Bible says to live, like I said, I don't look at the Bible as something religious. I look at the Bible as a constitution to get into the kingdom of all kingdoms, governed by the King of all kings. It is a government document per se. It's not a religious book. There's religion in it, and I say this a lot in my videos. There's religion in it. It's not a religious book. And as someone who's building a business owner, I dream big. I've always dreamed big since I was small. And I feel like to be a business owner, you have to dream big. Because building a business is too hard to live an average life. An entrepreneur is someone who will work 16 hours a day for themselves and not work 8 hours a day for someone else, right? Like, I dream big. I dream of having an entertainment company that hosts one of the biggest entertainment companies in the world. That's my main business. I own it with 3 people, but that's the business I have amazing vision for. But I also have my personal businesses, right? That's a music studio along with digital services, digital marketing, growth operating, which I'll touch on in a different video, but that's what I do, right? To start those things and even like getting closer to God, I realized like I had to believe in my identity. And God made that super clear to me when I believed in my identity, not the lie identity of other people. And I got that from Myron Golden. It's like a lie identity is like the identity that other people give upon you and you believe in. For example, you're too small to play basketball. I'm just giving you an example. Like, you're too small to play basketball. Or you can't make an entrepreneurship. Like, these are all lie identities. These are identities that other people put upon you. But that's not who you really are. Because the only person that knows who you are is yourself and God. So how are you going to let someone else talk about who you are and dictate your life? That makes absolutely no sense. Especially in business, bro, you cannot believe the lie identity. The lie costs too much. See, if you go in business, you got to believe what your brain says, right? And your brain, it's not only what you believe in your brain, it's also, you have to realize that the enemy is going to speak to you in your brain, and also God will speak to you. And you have to have the discernment. And a lot of things, like one of the first gifts from God that you get from getting closer to God is the gift of discernment, right? And sometimes discernment might not feel like a gift. If other people are saying you can't do this, don't believe them. That's wrong. Because let me tell you something, you are a child of God. You are literally created in His image. So if He is the ultimate creator, you're a creator as well. You were created to create things and to make things. You were created to be fruitful. So you cannot believe the identity that other people put on you. The identity that you have is yourself. That is your identity, bro. Believe in who God says you are, not who these other people say you are. The reason that a lot of people live an average life, I'm not here to sit here and say working a 9 to 5 is bad. Nah, I'm not saying that. Like, I just personally don't want to work a 9 to 5. That's not who I am. But I'm saying, like, for the people that work a 9 to 5 who don't want to be working a 9 to 5. See, if you're not willing to fight for what you have, anything will do. And that's what I said in my last video. Like, life will give you what you're willing to fight for and what you're willing to accept. So, what are you willing to fight for, bro? You have to ask yourself, ask yourself what God says about you. And the first thing that He said is that we are made in His image, bro. So if we're made in His image, We can do a lot of amazing things. That's pretty amazing in itself. This life is temporary. Even though I want to be rich, be wealthy in this life, I have a deep understanding that it's temporary. Even when I get there, I'm not going to be like stingy with my money, or how do I say it? Like when I become wealthy, when I get to my goals and beyond that, I'm not going to be someone that's like afraid to lose it. Obviously, I'll take precaution, but it's like, look, God can take it away from me, because as long as I have Him, I'm good. Even though I want it, really, like even though I want it, it might not be in the cards for me. I think it is, but it might not be in the cards for me, and I'm completely okay with that because I have God. See, I don't live life under the sun anymore. I live life for Him. That doesn't mean I'm perfect. That doesn't mean I don't sin, right? I still deal with lust. I still deal with issues that a lot of other Christians deal with. I'm not perfect. I still sin, but I don't look towards sin to feel good now. A lot of people look to drugs. I stopped smoking weed. I stopped doing a lot of things because I made a decision to get closer to God and really change my life for the better and live for Him, not for life under the sun. I live for Him because I know this is temporary. Even if I'm a millionaire, or when I become a millionaire, I know that's temporary because it doesn't equate to what God's gonna give me when I reach up, when I go to heaven and meet Him. Like I said, Solomon he wrote 3 books in the Bible. That was 3 parts of his life. Where he was close with God, where he wasn't close with God, and then where he was close with God. Ecclesiastes, where everything came to him, he's like, yeah, like life under the sun is pointless. You live for life under the sun, you've wasted it. And that's kind of where you realize in Ecclesiastes, like, all these things are cool, but at the end of the day, it don't matter. And that's what you need to get to. That doesn't mean don't work for what you want. That doesn't mean don't work hard for what you want in this life, because you got to enjoy this life too. You got to make the most out of this life. Like, we are made to make the most out of our situation. So right now we're on this temporary earth, right before we get to spend eternity with the Lord. Right now we're on this temporary earth, this temporary land. Enjoy it. Put in the work. Be fruitful in this land. But just know that even if you put God first and you seek His kingdom first and you yield to Him and you do His will here on earth, acknowledge the fact that, let's just say you are broke in this world, but you have God first, you're never truly broke. If you're broke and you have God first, you have more wealth. If you're broke and you're serving others and you have God first, then you have more wealth than anybody who's a millionaire who doesn't have God number one in their life. What's better is, you being rich and having God number one. I mean, that's a pretty good combo. But the number one most important thing is yielding to God and seeking His kingdom first. Because, like I said, life under the sun is pointless. Right now, I'm at my brother-in-law's crib, soaking in the sun, just working on my laptop a little bit. Life under the sun is pointless, guys. Go read Ecclesiastes. It's one of my favorite books in the Bible, and it really resonates things and puts things into perspective. Like, all these things are good, but they're pointless. Doing all these things under the sun is pointless. Putting all these things above God is pointless. Because at the end of the day, we all die. We all go to the same place in this flesh. Like, we all go to the same place in this flesh, but we don't go to the same place. Our spirits don't always go to the same place, right? You need to put God in front of everything. Really stop living for life under the sun, because it doesn't matter. It's temporary. And pray. King Solomon did the same prayer. He prayed for the wisdom to do the thing that God put him on this earth to do and serve others. I pray that prayer every night because it'll never be clear to you. But God will lead you on that path, and you got to figure it out along the way. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm figuring it out along the way. If you live your life under the sun, you've wasted it. That's my number one message for today. No matter if you're pursuing a business, and if you're not pursuing a business, living a 9 to 5, at the end of the day, if you're rich, poor, it doesn't matter, bro. Because if you put God first and you yield His kingdom, you yield to Him and put His kingdom first, and you're doing His will here on earth, you're wealthy in my eyes. And you're serving others, you're wealthy in my eyes. So that's just a quick message I wanted to tell you guys. But yeah, guys, live it up, work hard, and be fruitful.